Hi, I'm Kathy Dodson.
And I'm Jocelyn Lindsay. Welcome to another episode of 5 Minute Indie Insights, publishing tips and tricks in mostly 5 minutes because we're short, snappy, and not trying to sell you a course.
That's right, but we are going to try and sell you something today. Which is going to sound a little crazy to some of you, but bear with us because this is one of the best ways you can spend $10 in publishing.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is one of the easiest, cheapest ways to get like an immediate dopamine hit.
So what is it? So today the tool and little trick we're going to tell you about is GetCovers.com. And I'm going to share my screen real quick. And GetCovers.com, I think they're based in the Ukraine. They do book covers. And so you want to go to book covers. And the great thing about this, and we're not saying don't use someone else. We'll explain this.
Yes.
The book cover is $10. Right? They get it to max you in 4 days. It's one day you can another $10. One of the greatest things that you can do, because I use it in several ways. If I'm trying to figure out the tone of a book, or I'm stuck in the middle, or I know, a lot of times I'll try and get a little $10 book cover and be like, this is my character. This is, you send them, you go look at the genre that you're writing in, you send them some of your favorite book covers, and it can be such an inspiration to write off of the covers because you've got this like beautiful picture. And it doesn't matter if you use it or not. It's $10, right? And it makes you happy and makes you think about your book. Like even the exercise of, well, what genre is it going to be in? What did it look like in this genre, which makes you think about what's going to be in them, what categories. So all of that really can help you get excited about your book. So that's one way to use with $10 cover.
Yeah, I think the other big way that ties into that is for $10, you're getting smarter about what it's like to put together a request for a book cover. What exactly are you looking for in a book cover? How do you talk to a designer? How do you ask for, a particular genre? It's a very easy $10 to make yourself smarter. Whether you work with GetCovers or eventually work with another cover designer, you have gone through the process of requesting a cover and you know what that now looks like before you start spending lots and lots of money on a cover.
That is so smart because honestly, good cover designers can be $400, they can be $800, they can be $1,600. You can be spending a lot of money. So why not learn, right? Because it really is a great learning opportunity. You should be like, okay, I like these covers, and this is what my character looks like, and blah blah. And you'll sometimes you'll give them like way too much information, and they'll get something back, and then you go back and look at what you asked for versus what they gave you, and you'll see that they pretty much gave you what you asked for, and that is not at all what you wanted in a cover. And so you start to learn to think about your language.
Yeah. And another thing you can do with that cover is you can get the cover you want, that you want to see as a cover, and not the marketing cover that your reader wants. So you can satisfy that urge for yourself to have the cover that you love. And then, as we've talked about before in other episodes, your book cover is not for you, it is for your reader. So you can get that cover for you, and then your reader cover can be something else. But that can satisfy that, oh my God, I have to have the living room with everybody in it and the dogs and the cat. Yeah. So.
Hi. And another way that I've used this is a book coach. A lot of times, if I've got someone who's with a small publisher, they'll show them a cover and they get some influence over to the cover, and they're not happy with it because it's, they have different expectations, whether it's based on what they wanted or whether it's based on what they see in the genre, right? And so a lot of times I'll go get them a $10 get cover, and sometimes they end up showing that design and saying, hey, or say, I need this type of thing. It gives them the the visual from which they can take the language they need to talk to their cover designer and get something that they feel is a better fit for their genre.
Exactly. And I've done something similar. And we spoke in another episode about being stuck writing in the middle. Sometimes I'll just go pick up a $10 cover and show it to my clients, my book coaching clients, so that they get to see it for inspiration.
Ah,
That it can be like, it can be that, oh, this actually is a real thing. It's not just these words on a page that I want to like light on fire right now. And
right.
seeing that book, seeing that image with the title and their name on it, and
Right.
image with it can be so motivating and inspiring to keep an author who's having a hard time going. And it's just for another tool in your toolkit, having something like Get Covers in your back pocket is so important.
Right. And then one other thing that you can do is if you're starting out and you don't have a ton of money to spend on your cover. So the two of the books behind me, the podcast Chronicles of Bud tries to get it right. Those are Get Covers covered.
Yep.
So because in the paperback and got for marketing stuff, I ended up paying $40. The $10 is just for, one ebook cover. But I use these for 2 years for Housewife and over a year for 5 tries. And I have since recovered them because I put them in a series with another book and I paid a lot more for the covers and they're beautiful. But these were great covers for what I was trying to do for very little money. Not everyone has that kind of money when they're starting out to be able to, spend $800 on a cover or whatever.
And that's a great point. It's a great way to test drive covers because sometimes, I've had clients who they've published with one cover that they're comfortable with, and then 6 months or a year later, then they're changing it to do it. You can change covers multiple times to get closer and closer to the cover that sells.
Yes, you can change covers all the time. Another thing that was really great about this, though, is that Get Covers will keep giving you new revisions. And so, like, on podcast, the first cover was terrible. It was yellow. Do you remember that horrible one? I went back to them, but it was one of the bonding experiences when I'm like, okay, I'm looking for something more along this, and I was able to, show them some photographs, and then what they came up with was great. And if I tried, the women didn't look right for my book,
Right.
and they kept working on it until it was something that I thought was perfect for the books. So it's a really great tool to have in your toolbox. And a cheap one, so
Yeah, it's a cheap one. You learn a lot. You get smarter. So yeah, absolutely. Get Covers is a fabulous place to start when you need to start visualizing a cover.
we'll drop the link in the comments.
Absolutely. Yeah, go check them out. They're a fabulous company to work with. So go test your covers, go get covers and keep getting that book done. And if you're not quite done yet, for $10, pick up a cover and see what your book cover might look like.
Yes.
And let us know if you pick something up and you try it. We'd love to see what you come up with.
Drop it in the comments.
Please drop it in the comments. If you go get Get Covers, we'd love to see what you come up with. So, and on that note, we are off to, I have a cover that's currently being worked on, so I'm waiting on that one to come back and finishing our edits and our writing as well. So we're right here in the trenches with you, and we will see you next time. Take care.
Bye.